Welcome to the patch 14.15 video where, for Taric in the jungle, Navori is back. Why? Did they make any changes to Navori? No, they didn't. All they did is after years and years of me asking, Riot Games has finally fixed the bugs that I have requested to be fixed, and they're literally the exact ones that I requested. It's literally because I sent a message to the right Rioter this time that these bugs actually got fixed. So, in fact, you know what? Let's just do it like this. Way better. Fix an issue that causes Taric's Q and W to not cast on a bound ally while at max range. It looked like it was there, but it's not. It's not there, so Taric slightly increase of the W range. That's nice. Self-casting Taric's W while your bound ally is dead would cause you to shield a corpse instead of finding a new ally. That is verbatim what I said. Yes, your W would shield a corpse if you were in range instead of finding a new one. That's really nice. Huge fix there. Fix an issue that causes W tether spam to spam its SFX if a bound ally consistently entered and exited the max range. That one as well. Definitely on all this was in the message. And fix an issue that causes Taric's crew to increase on cooldown via Navori passive, not correctly reduce its cooldown from Navori. Now they specifically fixed Navori, but the issue is not Navori. The issue is Transcendence. And someone came in and said that somebody said they went and tested, like Cosmic did, that if you have Navori, Transcendence the rune fixes, but if you don't, Transcendence is still broken. And I said like Transcendence was all over because I said all this is coded through a Transcendence, like being on fire and hitting plants in arena, and Navori and Transcendence the rune, all these things in various like augments. Whatever, right? Worst comes to worst, like we got Navori, we got the other fixes that will definitely help out. And so Navori returns. And I've been cooking the Navori build a little bit, and this is no longer accurate. And I'm going to kind of go into now what is accurate, because just to spoil alert, I am going to be building this in solo queue. Like, it is actually that good now. I have said this before. If they ever fix the Navori bug, I would actually build it, but with the bug it was too much. Now that it's there. It's there. Okay, so you might want to be like, oh yeah, look at all these games. Like some of the games he goes 1 in 10, some of the games he goes, he does really well. Who knows? But we figured it out. And so I have this ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, made in like 20 minutes in Paint version of what you can do and what we're going to see with Navori coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. All right, so left side, bunch of runes, secondary runes, and items, right? I'm an artist, as you can see. We got lines, and there's all, like, this is not set in stone. You can go any combination of these things, like, potentially, but let's just start off at the things that make sense. So why are you going to go Hail of Blades or Phase or Glacial, right? Phase makes perfect sense. To go Phase, we've always been going Phase. Glacial makes sense because if you're going to have a lot of stuns, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to land a stun, which is going to proc Glacial, and of course that's really good. And of course Hail of Blades, giving you 3 really fast autos to proc Navori's passive even faster. So how do we do it? Just to be honest, the most viable thing so far definitely is just to easily go Phase Rush, like almost the exact same standard runes, right? Phase Rush and Revitalize Conditioning, other than you replace Celerity with Transcendence, just for that extra little bit of haste that it gives you. Then you're going to rush Iceborn or Frozen Heart, probably Iceborn because it gives you health, and Flicker Bay doesn't give you health. And like if you went Frozen Heart Navori, like you're not going to have any health at all, so that's going to be like a little bit dangerous. So probably Iceborn into Navori second. I tried to go Navori first, it doesn't work. So basically Iceborn rush Navori into Abyssal. Abyssal also got a buff. Abyssal's really good right now. Phase, Revitalize, Iceborn, Navori covers all issues other than attack speed, but Navori gives plenty, right? You end up at like 2.1, 2.2 attack speed, and if you pick up a couple like Hextech Dragons, potentially, like it fixes the problem. And then this build is so ridiculous. It's been working really well. But if you're rushing Iceborn, and then you're going Navori, like that's not going to work if you're facing heavy AP, right? And so if you're facing heavy AP, I've been liking this, basically what this green tree is, where instead of forcing Phase Rush, You can go a variety of different options, but instead, you're still going to go Revitalize Conditioning, but you're going to go Rod first. You're going to Rod Rush, and then you're going to go Navori, and then the rest of your items. And it obviously is a scaling build. It takes a while to pick up, but once it does, and once you have both items, it is just ridiculous. Like, Volibear top lane is going Rod of Ages, Navori right now. And so we're going to basically mimic that build in our own way. Because obviously the more attack speed you have, the more that you get procs out of Rod, and obviously if you're going Rod, you want healing, and you need all the healing from Revitalized Conditioning. So now that I'm at that point, you might be like, okay, but that's the same thing you were already going. Like, where is all this other stuff? Well, the reason that we're testing things like Legend Alacrity and like Transcendent Sorcery, like as secondary trees, is because when you have Navori, you have a variety of new problems that you have to fix. You need a certain amount of haste, you need a certain amount of attack speed, and then you also need to still be alive and survive and do all the other jungling things. So, you know, like, there's an argument to be made, like, okay, well, if Navori is an auto attack based item, like, I want Hail Blades and then I want Alacrity, because of course you're gonna auto attack so much. Like the circle in Alacrity is white. It's a dude's head, okay? I did this in paint, okay? I'm an artist, as you can see. I also made it purple so that it's like not like blowing your eyes away, right? It's, you know, it's easier to see and look at. I'm not an artist. Anyway, let's not get too distracted here. You know, there's a lot of different combinations for Navori and like how we actually want to build this item, but we definitely do want to build this item. And as long as you are a Taric main and are constantly searching for something to hit nearby, whether it be a plant, whether it be a dragon, whether it be whatever, this item is so cracked. It is amazing. Just to get like these stuns off. And it's not even like previous season where we went like lethal tempo Navori and we were trying to like perma stun. It's more like you get a stun off every 4 auto attacks, every 3 or 4 auto attacks, depending on your build. Some of them are actually getting closer to 3. I'll talk about one of them soon. Actually, I'll talk about it right now, because you can actually do this on support too. I figured out that if you go Jack of all trades, Mercs, you can just go Navori and you immediately get Jack of Trades maxed out at 10, which gives you some adaptive, you know, force or whatever, but it really just gives you haste. And the amount of haste that it gives you, if you pick up a Locket or something after that, you end up with like 60, 70 haste. Like, it's actually kind of ridiculous that you can potentially, like, if you're facing any kind of melee, you can just go Navori first and like all the other supportive items second. And it's like, well, you could do Locket first and then Navori. But, you know, whatever. Like, I was going this glacial Jack of all trades build where I went Buckler, Mercs, and Forbidden Idol to get Jack of all trades maxed out. But because the stats from Navori are so weird, you really only need Mercs tier and Navori, and the support item, the Atlas, picks up the rest. And then that's it, right? So like Jack of all trades, you're probably gonna want Transcendence, because if you go glacial revitalized conditioning on support, you just actually, maybe it is better. Maybe, you know, I'm gonna change this live. I think you can probably also just go straight up revitalized conditioning, because you just get so much haste from I think I went Lucidity boots is why. Now all the boots are more expensive, and that's another thing too to think about. Basically, support Navori is viable. Rod of Ages, Rush into Navori, very viable for late game scaling against AP. You know, Abyssal is incredibly cracked now. Phase Rush, Revitalize. And we also have some other things in the patch notes that are really good for Taric as well. Death Stance got more armor on it. That's big, right? We really, really like Death Stance. Death Stance Rush used to be a thing versus weird matchups like Trundle and some other things. I don't think you're going to go it anymore because it's not like the old clear. Like, once the jungle pets like existed in the game, it doesn't really make sense to build AD anymore like it used to. But it does have more armor, so Death Stance, viable, very viable pickup. LDR's nerfed, amazing, thank you so much. And then, you know, Void, whatever, Null, this has been fine. I actually haven't had problems with this. I think this is actually kind of nice. But all the boots are more expensive, which is good for Rod Rush, but that's about it, because you're not going to build boots first anyway. But here's the other big one, Wits End, Abyssal as well. Abyssal is so cracked now, I keep going Abyssal, but Wits. So because I'm going Navori, I'm never building Wits End. I'm just never building Wits End. But now, like, you never used to be able to rush Wits End because of the previous on hit being just horrible at low levels. So basically they're making it viable as a first item purchase, which if you're going Navori, you're never going to go Wits. And if you're going Rod, this doesn't change that much. And you're probably still going to want Navori second instead of Wits. But Wits is, Wits Rush could be ideal against you're facing like Mordekaiser jungle or Diana or whatever, but it's like, I'm so addicted to Navori, I'm probably going to stop building this. However, it's still really good, and it's better, even better now than before. So that's worth saying. And then, yeah, that's basically about it, right? I'm trying to update the guide as much as I can. It's just really complicated. Like, it's just really complicated. But basically, you want this. Like, if I just mess with this right now, like, what's the main thing you want to do is probably just, if you're going Navori, right? If you're going to be going like Dead Man's Rush style builds still, then you're not going to change anything. But if you're going Navori like I am, you're going to want to change this item or this rune to Transcendence again. Even just for the flat haste, even if it's like still broken, it's still like, if Navori is working, then it's an entirely different ball game. So that's it. I hope this was interesting enough, because Navori will be in the future. You might have already seen a game potentially when this goes up. So, and that's it. Otherwise, just general updates. I continue to grind my Minecraft video, and I was also on a television show, an MTV show. If you're interested in that, feel free to look into it. I can't say too much about it. It's just people are enjoying it, I guess. That's all I can say about it. But yeah, projects are going on. End of the season, or end of Split 2 is coming to it's coming around. It still doesn't feel valuable to me, Split 2, because Split 1, Split 3, it's like Split 1 is the beginning of the season. When were you challenger? Yes. Split 3 is the end of the season. Are you challenger? Well, we'll see. But like this middle split, the Split 2, like the drive isn't there. But now that Navori is back, I think the drive is there to hit challenger, not just on Taric jungle or whatever, but also Taric jungle while playing Navori spam. Because that sounds fun. Because the itemization has been kind of boring. Just to be totally honest, the itemization in the game, like they've removed a lot of the mythics, and when that happened, like just a lot of the fun items kind of felt like they disappeared. So that's where we're at. I shouldn't make this video any longer, so let me know in the comments. Tell me whatever it is you want to tell me. But I hopefully have covered everything, because Taric is in a pretty solid spot right now, I'll say, and it's going to get even better. So that's about it. See ya.